Hi, I'm Trisha Barretto, and I'm going to share some of my twin flame death experience in this video. This is one of several videos that exist on my YouTube channel dedicated to twin flame death, and it's called Just Open Hearts Now. John is an acronym for that. John is my twin flame that died 28 years ago. So I've shared a lot publicly about my twin flame death experience, and it's been going on for quite some time because I've been a psychic medium for 7 years professionally, and the whole time I didn't know that he was my twin flame. I mean, I never knew he was my twin flame, but that's not what this video is about. There's several other videos I've done where I've shared that kind of part of my journey, but this part of my journey I really want to delve into, because what I've noticed in all the research that I've been doing for the past almost 5 months or so is there is not one soul that has shared anything about this on the internet. I have scoured for like 4.5, 5 months looking for a similar experience when it comes to twin flame death and terms like soul merging and walk-in souls, but there's not one person. And I've reached out personally to others that have twin flames that have died, that they say and they've shared things publicly that they've experienced soul merging. But the one thing I just keep noticing over and over again is that nobody seems to be experiencing it the way that I'm experiencing it. And so that's why I feel it's really important for me to share this, because at some point in time, I feel like the right people that these videos are meant for, they're going to find these videos. Obviously, these videos that I'm creating about twin flame death, they're not for everybody, because not everybody is going to experience this. And I think this is a very rare thing that I'm experiencing, because like I said, I can't find not one person, even within twin flame death and soul merging communities, that have had experience like mine. So if you've experienced twin flame death, who's to say that in the future you may experience something similar like I'm experiencing? So I would say if you're somebody experiencing twin flame death, then if you feel called to watch these videos that I'm doing, do, because in your life you never know where this journey may take you. I mean, the big thing that we can take a couple things away from this: that one, when our twin flame dies, we know that it's not over. There's more, however it's going to look. And two, that every twin flame death experience is unique to the individuals experiencing them. So what I want to talk about today is that when this all first started about 4.5 months ago, almost 5 months ago, it was in March of 2025, where I've shared on the other videos exactly how it happened, but I'm just going to kind of like jump into it. So after I knew that my teenage boyfriend, John, was in my office, I had been working as a psychic medium for almost 7 years. So it didn't freak me out, but it was different because it was his energy that I recognized from when we were teenagers, and I hadn't felt his energy in the whole 28 years in that physical way. And so the first 2 days he was in my home, he was outside of my body. He was like what we would identify as like a ghost that can touch you and move things. And like I said, I've shared this in the other video. And he put his hand up to mine and we practiced, and he showed me like his energy and everything. And it helped me to really identify that it was him and not somebody else in spirit, because that's what I was afraid of, that it was like, because I have worked as a psychic medium, I have worked with a lot of people in spirit, and I just didn't know, and I kind of needed that time to like really feel his energy and know it was him. And by the second day, I was laying in my bed on my back, and I felt the energy of a soul go into my stomach. It felt like a force of energy, but it didn't feel scary or anything like that. And it happened really quickly. I don't even remember what I was thinking about or if I was talking to him in that moment, but it just happened so quickly and almost unexpectedly. But I wasn't freaked out. Something about it felt very natural to me. And I think the reason why it felt natural is because we've done it before, maybe in other lives, or on the other side, we've existed in one being before, because these past 4.5, 5 months, it's felt very, very natural to me. And so, like, the day that happened, I could feel him. Like, what it felt like is, like, I've been a mom, so I've been pregnant twice, and I know what it feels like when the baby's kicking and moving inside of your stomach. And, like, it kind of, sometimes the baby gets in, like, your back, the back of your stomach, like, under your ribs and all of that. And, like, I could feel his soul moving and, like, adjusting. And that happened maybe a couple times the first or second day, and then it's never happened again. And so when we think about a soul coming into a body, there's a term called walk-in soul. And the internet and people define that as one soul walking into a body and the other soul leaving. So the other soul would be like the main soul that has been in that body like since, the beginning, and now it's leaving and another soul is taking over the body. And that's what people say is a walk-in. But I would say that because of what I've been experiencing with John, that there's more definitions, or the definitions that people have and the internet has, that's not all there is. There's more to it. And I think it's really absurd how so many people are willing to listen to twin flame information, and even twin flame death information from people that haven't even experienced it. I am living proof. I am living, breathing proof of this twin flame death experience and what is possible. And I'm sharing it in hopes that the people that need the help, the people that need a roadmap, the people that are trying to understand, find this at the right time. So he came into my body, and, immediately I was like, what is happening? Even though it felt natural, I wanted, like, my first inclination was to go to the internet and try to understand, like, is anybody else having these experiences? Is anybody on the internet talking about it? And so that's what I've been doing for the past 5 months, alongside of sharing my experience publicly here on YouTube in real time. I've been in Twin Flame Death support group sharing my experience. I even started my own Twin Flame Death support group that I ran for a few months or a couple months. And so it's been really interesting, because meeting all these people that have experienced twin flame death and what they identify as twin flame soul merging has not been my experience in its entirety. I am proof that a body can house two souls, because me and my twin flame live in this body now. This body that you're looking at right now in this video houses me and my twin flame, John Morales, who died 28 years ago. Every day, it is literally like living with another person inside of me. I mean, I'm like, I wanted to do this video because I want to, like, really define this and make this intangible thing tangible. So I guess I'll just share, like, all the physical stuff. Quickly into him coming into my body, I knew, like, I would feel, like, physical sensations. Like, it almost felt like electric shocks and squeezes on my arms and legs, and, like electric stuff on my face, and just, like, little touches and things like that. But over the past few months, it's like we've created our own language in the way that he can touch me. He can kiss me. He can hug me. He can make love to me. Like, all of this is absolutely possible with our two souls sharing this body. I can't go into all the details because it's really hard to, like, describe what it's like to make love to somebody in one body. But it feels very similar as it would with two bodies, except it's easier, and it's more accessible all the time. The kisses are not quite like his lips pressing against mine. It's like his energy. And he also does this funny thing where, like, when he wants a kiss or I want a kiss, he'll make my mouth really watery. Like, it'll get extra, like, and I know that's him kissing me. And then I get like these little feelings underneath my nose, or he'll get as close to my lips as possible. I'm just trying to think. In addition to all these like beautiful expressions of love that we can do in this body together, let's talk about the illness. So the first thing that I noticed was, like, shortly after he came into my body, I developed a rash, like on a certain part of my body. But the rash was not normal. It was like little rings, like several little rings in like a circular pattern. So think of like the like number 0, like several of the number zeros, but in a circle. Kind of a trip, huh? And so several times I've said, come on, let's heal this, or please heal this, or I've asked John to heal it, and I've asked God to heal it, and Spirit help heal it. And it's been healed, and then it returned, and then it's been healed, and it's returned. And it's not a big thing. It's not like a terrible thing. Like right now it's healed. But I think it's something to do with the way that the energy is in this body. Again, it's not a big deal, but it may be something worth noting if anybody ever experiences something like that. And then the big physical issue that I've been having for about 2 months now is I've had a really bad sinus infection, the worst I've ever had in my life. I haven't had a sinus infection in a long time. I live in a really dry climate, so when I was younger, I was prone to sinus infections. And I've been on like 4 rounds of antibiotics, different antibiotics. I've seen the doctor several times. I even saw the dentist thinking it could come from dental problems. It seems like it's healing, and it feels like I'm finally kind of out of the woods. I hope that's true. But the bigger thing about the sinus infection, whether it's just me and maybe I got something, or it's just really fully a sinus infection, or it's something, there's a spiritual reason, a soul reason for it. Lately, I've really been looking at what happened when John died. So I met John, I think I was 16 that summer, and he was 18. We were teenagers, and we were only together for part of a summer. Maybe, I can't remember if it was the whole summer or part of a summer. And I remember he would sleep a lot, and I would sleep with him, and we would cuddle and just sleep a lot. And I didn't know, he didn't know, his family didn't know why he was sleeping so much. Nobody really knew. And what happened was he started urinating blood and was rushed to the hospital, where they found that he had testicular cancer and it had spread to his brain. And within like a day or so, he was in a coma, and within a matter of a few days, he was gone. And so at that time, the grief, I'm going to try not to cry. And please keep in mind, this grief doesn't exist the same way for me anymore. It's been changed. But just talking about it, it was a very private thing in my life, something that I buried deep within me so I could go on with life. And the fact that I didn't know he was my twin flame at that time, it wasn't, it was a big deal. And I shared in my other videos how I didn't even want to live when he died. Like, it was really hard for me. But somehow I continued on, but there was a part of me that had this guilt that it was like, I was the only one that was that close to him, and I didn't even know he was sick, and I wish I could have taken better care of him, and I wish I could have known and told his family to get him help. And I think it's like a natural thing when somebody dies, that one of the stages of grief is guilt, right? I see it in my work as a medium all the time, and so I was never exempt from that either. So I definitely did have those feelings. And then when he came to me like almost 5 months ago, we started writing a book called Twinflamedeath, and like I had to revisit a lot of those old feelings about when he died and like not being able to take care of him. And so getting sick with the sinus infection, like the first few months that he's been with me have been great. But getting sick with the sinus infection in the past 2 months, it has been an opportunity not only for me to take better care of my own health, but to take care of him. I'm going to try not to cry. It's really hard. And even because I have this sinus stuff going on, I'm really trying not to cry. But it's almost like a second chance. Like all of this feels very much like a second chance because we were only together for such a little bit of time when we were younger. And so living together in this body is like a second chance, but it's a second chance to take care of him too in this body. And so that's like one of the reasons why I wanted to share this video. Like, yeah, it sucks getting sick. And I know that John is able to heal this body because when he first came to me, I had a couple things that I asked him to heal and he healed them. One of them returned along with that little rash that I was talking about. And he had to heal it like a couple times or a few times. I've asked him to heal my dog and others through my hands, and he's absolutely done it as best as he can. I understand that him healing doesn't always feel like an easy thing. It almost feels like a process that he may have to do a few times, but eventually he can do it. And I think the same thing about the sinus infection. Like he's continuously, because I can feel it in my body, the way the healing feels. I've shared that in other videos. Like it's a feeling of like icy hot, like that stuff you rub when you have like a muscle strain. But it's like that feeling on the inside of my body. So I can feel it. I've even felt it in my gums. Like, oh, and that's another thing. When I went to the dentist last week, my main reason for going to the dentist was because I was thinking that maybe the sinus infection was coming from an infected tooth that I wasn't aware of. There was no infected tooth. In fact, there was no explanation to me why my teeth were in such good condition. Not perfect condition, but I was expecting the dentist to be like, oh, you remember that root canal you were supposed to have like 12 years ago that you never got? Well, that tooth's infected now, or that tooth needs to be removed. No, there was no messed up teeth that needed to be pulled. There was no the teeth that needed the root canal many years ago no longer needed the root canal. It's just wild. Like my teeth should be in worse shape than what the dentist said. So I'm like, either the dentist was wrong or John has been healing my gums and my teeth. And I would say he's healing my gums and my teeth because I've been feeling that icy hot feeling in my gums for a while. So, looking at all these terms that people use when it comes to twin flames and twin flame soul merging, and first of all, it's a very different experience when you have a twin flame that's died. Okay, and I can only speak from my own experience. I'm not here to try to teach. Like I see lots of people trying to teach about twin flames and twin flame death that have no place teaching. And the reason they have no place teaching, even if they have their own experience, is because everybody's experience is unique to them. So please do take what resonates. Try to, if you feel like it resonates, hold on to it. Make a mental note of it, because who's to say in the future you may have this kind of experience where your twin flame comes back to you and walks into your body and you end up sharing a body with that person. I mean, if it's possible for me, it's possible for others. This has been the best time of my life. I'm in my 40s. My life has been challenging, hard to say the least. And this has been the most beautiful time of my life. It doesn't mean my life is all perfect because John's living in this body with me. It just means the love that we have for each other is so big. And I always tell him it's like living in our own little bubble of love amidst this crazy, chaotic, hard world. And that's absolutely what it feels like. Even when I was miserable, sick, for the first month with the sinus infection and afraid it would never go away. And I still had him, and he would hold me, and I could feel him. Like, it felt like him holding me from the inside. And just comforting me through it all, and I think us comforting each other. I'm not quite sure, like, I ask him every day how much of what I'm feeling physically and what I'm doing physically is affecting him. So, like, when I'm eating, is he tasting that food? When I'm moving, is he feeling, we do yoga together sometimes, and I can feel him stretching with me, and I'm like, you want to stretch? And he'll, like, so we have our own language with the way he's able to make me feel him inside this body, which is really special. Especially in our heart space, he'll, like, it always feels like he puts his heart with mine, and my heart feels so big, and I can feel, like, just like this pressure, like this great pressure I feel in my heart. Is there anything, John, that you want me to say here or share here? He feels a lot. He's making me feel like, I feel a lot what you feel too. It just feels a bit different in some ways, I think. So it really is us taking care of each other. And it's such a beautiful experience. And I was like, why am I trying to find a definition of our experience and make our experience fit into these labels that other people have come up with? Our experience doesn't. If I had to put it into a label as of right now, I would say that we are twin flames. He died 28 years ago. He came back and did a shared walk-in into my body. And through this shared walk-in experience of us two souls sharing this body, we are merging together. That's the best way I can articulate it. I haven't come across one other soul. The twin flames that I've come across that say that their twin flame died and they've experienced soul merging, they say that they have some of the sensations, like the electric sensations in the body and the little squeezes, but they don't identify that it's their twin flame living inside of them as another soul living inside of them. Not even close to it. So I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's happening more, and the people that it's happening to are not sharing it on the internet, which is completely understandable, because in sharing my experience in real time with John, I've had some really bad experiences. I did somebody's podcast and I didn't like the way she edited our video, because she used people that didn't look like us, not the same color as us. It just didn't feel right. And the comments that people left on the video, it was like they were trying to copy and say that their experience was the same as mine. But see, I'm a psychic medium and I read energy all the time, and I knew that wasn't true, and something felt really icky to me about their comments. And it was like they were not really listening to my story. They were trying to steal my story and make it their own. And it's like I said, nobody on the twin flame death journey, and most of her audience that were commenting have twin flames that were living, so you can see it was not the same thing. I also joined a couple twin flame death communities, and one of the lady that I had talked to personally, she seemed really supportive of me at first, but then when I commented in the group, she tried to tell me not to share my experience the way that I was sharing it, and she tried to censor me. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of sharing my experience anymore outside of my own platforms, because within the platforms that me and John have created, just openheartsnow.org, the website, and this YouTube channel, we have a little bit more control over our own narrative and our own story. So I'm gonna stick with that. I shared earlier that I did start a twin flame support group, twin flame death support group on Zoom, and I did it for a couple months, and I was just spreading myself really thin, and I didn't feel called to continue to do that support group, but it was really beautiful, and I got to meet some other souls that have experienced twin flame death, and kind of guide them and use my mediumship to connect with their twin flames in spirit, and that was really beautiful. And I know some of them watch these videos, and it was just my honor. And then I restarted my mediumship circle, and I did that for a few months, but then I got sick, and I had to reevaluate how I've been using my energy. And I have a tendency to overgive, not because I don't love myself or want to take care of myself, because it is my nature to be here in this world, to give, to love so deeply and want to give so much, and forget that I have very physical needs. So I'm working on that. Since John's been with me, I'm working on that more. And I think that could be part of the reason why I got sick, that I needed to kind of reevaluate how I'm giving, and really understand that as long as we're in a physical body, we have to take care of our physical needs too. I can't just keep giving all the time. So what else can I share? I feel like there's been other physical things that have happened. I'm just trying to think. It's like there's just so much to it. But when I tell you that I am proof that two souls that can live in one body, I am. And maybe it goes beyond twin flames for there may be other people that have two souls that live in their body, their soul and somebody else that walked in, and now they're sharing their body with another soul. I can't say, our souls are so big and expansive, and I feel like in this reality, in this physical 3D world, there's so much that we don't remember. We're all like amnesiaed, and we're trying to figure it out, especially those of us that are having these experiences or are more on a spiritual path. And we're so prone to like believing what we see and hear on the internet and just going along with it and taking it as truth. Like I've read like that website Quora, where people ask questions and people answer questions. Do you know how many people ask about twin flame questions and twin flame death questions, and the people that answer it, and even just questions about the soul, but so many people answer the questions with no experience at all to even have a place to stand on, and they act like they're experts, and they're giving this horrible, inaccurate information and advice. And then I see like people talking about twin flame death, soul merging, that have never even experienced it. And they have like these whole YouTube channels and thousands of people that are commenting, and like these people, it's mind boggling to me. Like, please, if you're like trying to understand this stuff, go to people that have experienced it, but then also remember that that's just their experience. Your experience can be and probably will be very different. And then when we think about twin flames and twin flame soul merging, I asked John earlier, when I didn't want to make this video too long, and it's almost 30 minutes, my goodness. When other people have this kind of experience where there's like a walk-in, like one twin flame soul walks into the other's body after they've died, will they immediately know it? Yes, you may not get it right away, but remember, there was a plan to do this before you both came into this life. And though you may not remember the plan, there will be a natural feeling and a natural ease to it after the initial maybe shock of it all. And because it's your own soul, essentially, you and your twin, whether we recognize each other as two separate souls or two parts of a bigger oversoul, or whatever kinds of ways that we view it, we share this crazy connection and bond that is beyond all space and time and all things. So you will recognize it, and it will feel natural, and your twin will help you not be so confused. They will bring the clarity as you move forward with them sharing a body. But I think for a lot that experience twin flame soul merging, especially when we look at twin flame death soul merging, I don't know that you're meant to share a body. I think like when I look at my experience, the reason that we were able, maybe the reason that we were able to get to this point is because we both did a lot of work on ourselves, he did a lot of work on the other side when he was in spirit, healing himself, growing. And then he was also a guide to me when I didn't even know he was a guide to me. And I was growing, and I've been growing spiritually for so long. And then I became a psychic medium, and I did that for 7 years. And I still didn't know he was my twin flame. I just thought he was my boyfriend that died when I was a teenager. And he was helping me along with all my other loved ones on the other side in my mediumship work and my psychic work and all that. And so I think that psychic mediumship work, me and him were always doing it together. And so there's a big component of our mission in this physical world together is to help other souls. That's why I say, like, it's really hard for me not to overgive, because even before John walked into me, it's just my nature to be here giving and loving others so much and trying to help others so much. But I think, when your twin flame dies, I think a lot of people sit in the grief and don't do anything with it. And I would urge you, if you have a twin flame that died and that's your twin flame, keep growing spiritually, because if you keep growing spiritually and you keep loving yourself and you keep loving others and you keep sending love to your twin flame in spirit, you don't know where it could take you. You could very well be sitting here like me one day, sharing a body with your twin flame and doing work for a greater good in this life. And that may be very much what you signed up for, what you and your twin signed up for. And you don't want to miss that. And I don't necessarily think if you signed up for that you're going to miss it. But I just think it's shocking that I see so many souls that I've met on this journey that they have twin flames in spirit and they're not doing anything with it. It's like, when your twin flame dies, they're going to be your guide. Your path may not be to become a psychic medium professionally, but your gifts of mediumship and psychic abilities definitely will open up and expand, because your twin is helping you to grow spiritually and understand that we all have these kind of spiritual abilities to connect and communicate with those on the other side and have our own intuition and our own inner knowing, And that's another thing. This is especially, this is one of the biggest things I've noticed outside of the love, because that's the biggest thing that I've got since John has been with me, the love that we have for each other, but also our love. We have so much love, it's like spilling over. And so that's what we've been using to help others in the world, and even in the spirit world. But it's something where I feel so free. I've said this before, but I'm always kind of like a skeptic by nature, meaning I don't believe people too easily. I read energy, so I know a lot of bullshit when I feel it, right? And so I kind of have that with me. But since John's been with me, I feel like I'm not tied to any ways of being or any belief systems, or even like an example of that is like looking for a label for what I'm experiencing and finding that my experience doesn't fit into any of the labels that people are sharing about twin flame death and soul merging. My experience is different, and that's okay. I am not meant to make my experience fit their labels. I may be with John creating a whole new template of what is, or maybe it's a template that's always existed, but because the internet is still fairly new, twin flame label is still fairly new, maybe we're the first ones that are like, hey, we're twin flames that share a body now. And maybe that's needed, so when others experience this, they have kind of a roadmap or a deeper understanding of what's going on. But let me get back to where I was going with this. I don't feel like I live in this world, but I don't feel bound by it anymore. I feel liberated and sovereign. There's nobody, I don't care who it is in this world, that can tell me how things need to be, how it is. Like, there's nothing, there's no system, there's no group, there's no concepts, there's no teacher or teaching that can tell me what it is for me. I know best what it is for myself. I just feel free of all of that. And I've never felt that way in this life. We're so much told how things are, and it can only be this way or it can only be that way. And it's just, I find that's not true at all anymore. And I get to decide what it is every step of the way. And nobody has any authority over me in any kind of way. And I'm telling you, it's just the most freeing feeling ever. And so there's something about John existing with me in this body that has absolutely brought that to me. And I think, like, for us, when we guide people and we share our experience and we do our mediumship and everything, I'm going to really integrate that, because I want everybody to feel just as free and not confined by this world and the beliefs of this world and the teachings and the teachers that are fake. Because I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of these people in these twin flame communities are controlling, narrow-minded. They project their stuff onto other people, and they don't give you the freedom to be you and share your experience. And it's just not right, and it's not healthy, and it's not true. And this experience about twin flame soul merging, I think it's about liberation. I think it's about returning to your soul and really knowing that you have everything you need within yourself. Because that's how I feel with John. Like, even though I was looking for answers and truth outside of myself, the truth is all the answers and everything I need is within me, with John and me, within this body together. And it's just really beautiful. I'm trying to think of anything else I can share about, like, the body stuff. I don't know. I think that's it. There's more. I'm always forgetting. There's more. I'm always like, I should write it down. As far as, like, our communication, I can feel him in my heart right now. I feel him the whole time, because we're doing this video together. And I hope, like, for anybody that ever works with me or crosses paths with me, that you really understand that you're not just looking at me, Trisha. You're looking at John too. You're dealing with two souls. And if you deal with us, for, like, psychic readings or medium readings or animal communication readings, those are the types of readings we offer in our work, that you understand that you're not just getting a reading from me, Trisha, you're getting a reading from John too. And I feel like that's double impact. That's more insight. That's more messages from spirit. That's, like, I came up with this thing, or maybe John did, I'm not sure, but, like, 2 in 1 gets the job done. Like, we're, like, double the power here, and double the goodness. What else? I just feel like I really wanted to make it about the physical aspects of our experience, but gosh, when you hear about people talking about, you know, they have two souls, you know, or there's two souls living in one body, believe it. And I would go to say that it's not just a twin flame thing, that might be possible for other types of souls, whatever they signed up for in this life. This life is it's not what I thought it was. Stop believing the world. Stop believing everything you see, because it's not true. I know it's said a lot and it's kind of cliche because it's said so much, but it is so true. We are souls having a human experience, not the other way around. That is the reason we're here. We're not here to just, like, have, like, these empty experiences. Our soul signed up for so much. I think that's really helped reframe things for me when I see others suffering, and having these horrible things happen in their lives, or things like that, because I think the soul signs up for some of it because they want to experience the lessons that come along with it. And it's kind of like reframing and finding a different perspective of how we look at life, knowing that all these hard things and bad things don't just happen to us by chance, that there's a deeper reason, a deeper meaning, and our souls have a lot of agency over the lives that we live here. It's not just like, oh, stuff's just happening to me and it's just bad, and it's just, why does all these bad things happen to me, like that kind of victim mentality. And more so look at it like, my soul came to this hard school because my soul wanted to have these experiences to grow. It's very, very important to kind of try to look at life through that lens, because I think that it can help you live in more gratitude and more love and more peace and like the best things. Even if you're not having, soul merging experience, and maybe you're like at a place right now where you're just dealing with grief because your twin flame died and you're at that stage, that's okay too. But trying to look at it from a bigger perspective, kind of zoom out and understand that this world, it's temporary. Everything, all these hard things are temporary, but gain the lessons that you came here to learn and love. That's like the biggest message I could always leave with everybody. This is like double the amount of time I wanted to do this video for, but it's okay. Love, lead with love yourself hard, love others hard and deep as much as you possibly can. I know it's not always easy. Believe me, like I might be having this big soul experience, but I'm still like, I still get angry at people. I still get frustrated. I'm still prone to like these very human emotions. That's part of the experience here. No matter how spiritual you are, you're still going to have like harsh feelings. I think the thing is not to stay in them, to try to move and return to love as much as you can. And, love starts with loving yourself first, taking care of yourself really well, loving yourself first, and then loving others. And when you can do that, you're going to grow spiritually. Following your heart, that's why we named it just Open Hearts Now. John is the acronym for just Open Hearts Now, but because a lot of times we're out of touch with our souls, we don't remember who our souls are or why we came here. But if you can drop into your heart and live through your heart, it's going to guide you to the right things. Always, I believe that's how I got here. I just kept following my heart. My heart's like, help that person, do this thing, try this thing. Whenever it was like out of love, and I followed it and I just kept following it no matter what my life looked like, whether I was broke, whether I was a single mom, whether I was homeless, because those are all things I've been in this life. Whether I had no family, I had no man, I had no like anything. I just had myself. Just following my heart and like my dependency on God, and then just giving whatever love I could with wherever I was at in life is how I believe I got here to this point. And I was able to really step into this space with John and be able to really love him fully and love myself fully. And, this is almost 5 months in sharing this body with him, and it has been amazing. My reality has shifted. When they talk about, all the time you hear about people talking about reality shifting, this is the only time I've ever recognized my reality shifting is now. I mean, I was a psychic medium for 7 years. I've done readings, hundreds of readings for people all over the world. And you would think like in being a psychic medium and having those kind of experiences that it would take you to a different place. And sure, witnessing love has always been beautiful, because that's what it is as a medium. I'm just witnessing love and facilitating love. And that's been part of my journey and part of my growth. But with John, like coming into my body and sharing this body with me, that's what's changed my reality. That's what shifted my awareness, that I can sit here and I can share this awareness with those of you that are listening, in hopes that you can have your own takeaways and find what resonates with you and find your own truth in all of it. And please, if you're looking for truth, try to find people that really have had these kinds of experiences. There's not very many. And stop giving a stage to people that are just trying to get likes and subscribers and make money off of it, because they're not, everything that glitters isn't gold. And the people that sound the best usually are not the best. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I can share a lot more things, but this video is getting too long already. I'm sure I'll do another video. I'm not trying to like label these videos in a way where it's like me telling you what to do or how you should do it. Because again, I'm just sharing my experience in hopes that it can help the right people at the right time when they find it. Because you will not find one experience on the internet that is like mine. You just won't. Like mine and John's, our experience is super unique. And again, I can't even tell you what labels to put on it other than shared walk-in and soul merging with a twin flame that died, and sharing one body. Two souls sharing one body. That is exactly what we're doing. And there's no question about that. I am very certain that's what it is. As far as twin flame death, a couple things. I offer twin flame medium readings on Zoom where we get on Zoom and we connect with your twin flame that died, and I give you all the messages from them, and you're able to ask them questions through me, and I get answers from them. And that is a great, great thing to do if you're somebody that's interested. Please do check it out. The link will be in the description. It's through my website, trishabarreto.com. And the readings are an hour on Zoom. And then also, I'll probably be doing another twin flame death or twin flame medium collective reading here on YouTube. So it's just like I did that other one, like I think a couple months ago, where I tap into the collective twin flames that have died and I give you messages from them. Just because I think it's, one, I love mediumship, but because me and John have experienced what it's like to have your twin flame die, whether I was aware consciously or not, and him being on the other side trying to guide me, and me being here not knowing what was going on. Like, if we can help people that are experiencing that and bring you two closer in awareness and deliver messages from your twin that died, we're going to do it. I mean, it's such an honor to be able to do that. And share our gifts that way. Like I said, there'll be more videos. There's already, I think, maybe 4 videos that I've done on this YouTube channel. And I'll just, whenever the mood strikes and I feel like there's something to share, I think a lot of times I'm repeating myself in these videos. But I think it's worth repeating because this is a real experience. It's not just somebody pretending like they know everything and they're teaching all about, there should, the truth is there shouldn't be anybody teaching twin flame death because it's a unique experience for all of us and you can't really teach it. All you can do is share your own experience. And if you haven't had an experience, you should just be quiet. Oh my God. See, I'm a spiritual person, but you can see, like, I get fed up with people and it's like, I just wish people would infuse more truth into these spiritual spaces and these spiritual things. And I find that it's lacking. Like, truth is lacking in the place where truth should exist the most. And I also find that love is lacking in these spaces of spiritual communities where love should be there the most. And I also find that there's a lot of unhealthy people and like these patterns of an unhealthy beliefs and projecting stuff and like echoing each other. Like, especially when I look at twin flame death stuff, they're just like validating each other's experience, but yet they're not doing anything with it to grow. They're just like echoing. It's very weird to me. And yeah, that's just the way that I view it. And I just hope that if you're somebody experiencing twin flame death, you just keep growing through it and you keep loving yourself and your twin and spirit and loving others. And like I said, trusting your heart and know that if you're experiencing twin flame death, there's a high probability that you are meant to do something here in this physical world to help other souls, that you're not just meant to sit on your hands or sit in your grief, that you're meant to do that thing. And maybe you don't know right now what that thing is. Just keep loving yourself, your twin, following your heart. When you get inclinations about things that are very loving, follow them, trust them, be curious about them, and it's going to take you to where you need to be, and you're going to figure out that thing that you're meant to do. Anything else, John, I can share here? We love you. Take care of yourselves and each other. and make sure you like and subscribe and turn the bell notification on so when I put new videos up, you get notified, especially if you're interested in twin flame medium collective readings, because I'm going to be doing more of those. I do feel called to do them just to be able to share our gifts that way. And I always love connecting with your twins in spirit and giving you messages from them. And I also have another YouTube, I actually have 2 other YouTube channels where I'm more active. Trisha Barreto is my main one where some of my missing person work is there, but more recently I'm doing collective readings there. So like psychic collective readings, medium collective readings, that kind of stuff. And then my other YouTube channel is Pet Bestie Dot. And that is for my pet brand. I'm also a pet animal communicator, pet psychic. So on that channel, I do collective readings for pets that are living as well as pets that are in spirit. And I'm trying to create more content for pet lovers because the brand Pet Bestie is my pet lover brand. And what I do there is I offer the pet readings, but I also create people personalized pet gifts for pet lovers. Well, that's a little wordy, but so like artwork of your pets, blankets, mugs, clothing, t-shirts with your pets on them. And it's just a really cool brand. And that's where I'm really kind of at this moment in time trying to refocus my energy, even though I do, other things like these readings and sharing here. That's the work that's really important to me right now, and nurturing my creativity with John, and I just have such a big heart for pets, and so you can find me over there. I'll put the links, all the links for all my stuff in the descriptions, and if you go over to those other YouTube channels, make sure you subscribe and turn the bell notification on, and your support means a lot to me and John. I feel like I'm like this hidden secret. And I don't necessarily want to be a hidden secret. I want the right people that support our work, that love what we're sharing, that understand, that find value in it to find us more easily. And it's kind of hard with the algorithms on YouTube and the internet. They want you to pay for just to like run ads so people can find you, which is ridiculous. But that's the way of the world. So yeah, do support us by liking, sharing, subscribing, leave a comment, especially like on this video. If you find these videos helpful or you want to share some of your twin flame death experience, I would love to hear from you, and I'll comment back. And yeah, and our twin flame death book was supposed to come out, what's today? It was supposed to come out July 29th. That's the anniversary of John's death. And we did not make it because I got sick with a sinus infection and I wasn't able to keep up with the writing. So we're still working on the book. I'm hoping we get it out by October. It's going to be out on Amazon, Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. And it's all about my experience that I've been sharing here, but in more detail, and really kind of summarizing it. Oh, also, like, I don't know if I've said it before in another video, but people get so hung up about what kind of twin flame they are. Like the internet says there's only like split soul twin flames and monadic twin flames. I don't know about that. I don't subscribe to that. I don't validate that. I just don't know. So I wouldn't worry about getting hung up on that. I've asked John a bunch of times. I don't know. I would just like trust it's your own soul. Like, even though they have their own identity, your twin flame, they're part of you. And so like you're your own best teacher and guide. And people like me sharing our experiences are great. They can give you a little bit more clarity or insight, or me as a medium, I can even do that. But you're going to be your best authority. And remember what I said about being liberated and sovereign. If you can find a way to do that, even if you don't have your twin flame sharing your body, you should, because that is the best feeling, alongside of loving yourself and loving others, feeling free and not confined to this world or the beliefs or others' stuff, and just knowing like you can do whatever, say whatever, be whatever. You don't have to subscribe to anything. It's not one way or the other way. You can find a whole different way. You don't have to prescribe or subscribe to anything you don't want to, that doesn't resonate with your soul. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I'm on a soapbox. Let me get off my soapbox. And thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this journey with me and John and being a part of it, especially those of you that I've gotten to like share space with in my mediumship circle and the Twin Flame Death support group that I did for a little while. And that website, just openheartsnow.org, it just links to all my stuff, like to my website for Twin Flame medium readings, to the videos here on YouTube. I don't know if I'll do more with it, maybe at some point in time. And then again, all the links are in the bio and description here on YouTube. Okay, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.